When you talk about who's going to be the most impactful player for the Houston Texans, I think you could have, a pretty fun time with this thought. Is it going to be the rookies? Is Davis Mills going to be the quarterback? Is Nico Collins going to be the new number one wide receiver for the Houston Texans? Is it going to be Brevin Jordan? A lot of people think it might be. Or is it going to be players that are already on this roster? Is it going to be Justin Reid or Zach Cunningham, who both had not good seasons last year? Are they going to bounce back with a new defensive coordinator and be leaders for this Houston Texans defense? Or is it going to be one of the free agents that you brought in? Is it going to be Desmond King? Is it going to be Shaq Lawson, Christian Kirksey? You can have these discussions because we haven't got anywhere near the season yet. We still are not going to know what happens with massage parlor Deshaun Watson, someone who has to get his booty hole tickled. We don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and give you some of the players that I think will be the most impactful for the Houston Texans. In no particular order, but I'm going to go ahead and say, Mark Ingram, for one, he's going to step in and be the leader of the running back room. And I know Phillip Lindsay is there. You might have to add Phillip Lindsay on this list as well. But Mark Ingram, he's going to be the leader that you need for the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans wanted to start a brand new culture, and that's what Mark Ingram can be. He's been recruiting players. He's been, really, showing love to H-Town. And I'm actually rooting for Mark Ingram. I don't think he's going to be that 1,000-yard rusher that he was a couple years ago, but he might give you 4 or 5, right? He might be your goal line running back. We're going to see what happens with Phillip Lindsay. We're going to see what happens with David Johnson. I don't expect David Johnson to be on this roster. I think, your head tandem is going to be Phillip Lindsay and Mark Ingram. Phillip Lindsay, I think, could be an absolute 1,000-yard rusher for the Houston Texans. I really don't understand why the Denver Broncos brought in Melvin Gordon when Phillip Lindsay had back-to-back, 1,000-yard seasons and is a threat in the passing game. Those two running backs, I think, will just, revitalize this Houston Texans offense. Because you imagine if these two were on the team last year, where the Houston Texans at time couldn't run the ball, and we relied on Deshaun Watson for 74% of our offense. That's something that, that's going to have to be, considered. Another one is, two guys that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Justin Reid and Zach Cunningham were absolute disappointments, especially Zach Cunningham. He got a big payday in the offseason and didn't do nothing for the Houston Texans. He was as consistent as they come, tackling high, wasn't that good in coverage, wasn't that good against the run. He showed games that he could be a top linebacker in the NFL, but then he had games when he looked absolutely lost. Zach Cunningham needs to step up for this Houston Texans team. Who is the leader right now on this defense? Is it going to be Shaq Lawson? I don't know. Is it going to be Desmond King, Justin Reid? I really hope it's Justin Reid. Let's add Justin Reid to the list. Justin Reid last season was not good at all. Wasn't good in coverage. Was missing tackles. Was arm tackling. A huge disappointment because if you watch my videos, from this time I started, I said that Justin Reid and Zach Cunningham are going to be your building blocks for the future. I really hope they can live up to what I thought they could be because we know how good these guys. We saw Justin Reid in his first 2 years look like he might be an all-pro caliber safety. Zach Cunningham for his first couple years looked like this is going to be your new franchise, linebacker. Screw Bernard McKinney. We have Zach Cunningham. And they just didn't do that last year. So can they bounce back? I'm certainly hoping that they can. Is it, who else do the Houston Texans need to be impactful? I really think you have to look at Nico Collins. Nico Collins, the 6'4" wide receiver who we just drafted from Michigan. I am absolutely infatuated with this pick for the Houston Texans. I've been saying for the longest we need a big body wide receiver who has the speed to go ahead and and get the deep ball. He could go up and get the 50-50 ball, contested catches. There's one thing that you really can't teach, and that's size and that speed. And Nico Collins has those. So whoever is slinging him a rock, is it gonna, if it's Tyrod or if it's Davis Mills, I think Nico Collins is going to be successful. He is someone that I'm really excited about for this Houston Texans offense. And, if I'm going to keep on going, I do want to go ahead and say, Desmond King. Desmond King is going to come here and be like the most player in the secondary who has the pelts on the wall, who's been an all-pro, who's been a Pro Bowler, Can he come in and revitalize his career? He was moved positions at LA and then came to Tennessee, and they did the exact same thing. Didn't play him where he needed to be. He's going to coming back to that zone corner spot. Let's see what he can do. Desmond King, man, I'm really excited, for these older, crop of players that we have because we know that this team can be good. It just needs to come down to coaching. Is it going to be Lovie Smith? Is it going to be David Culley? Who could revitalize this team? We don't know. But those are some players that I think need to be impactful for the Houston Texans to be successful. I think your running back tandem needs to, be the focal point of this offense because Deshaun Watson isn't there no more. You need Zach Cunningham to take command of the linebacking core, and make this, a feared defense. And Justin Reed as well. You're the most tenured secondary, player for the Houston Texans. I know Desmond King has the pelts on the wall, and I know Desmond King is someone who everyone is super excited for. But you also need to show leadership alongside him. And I just want to see what happens. But let me know who you think the most impactful players are for the Houston Texans. As always, you guys have a blessed day.